Hello and welcome. I am Devika Devan and you're watching NewsX World. We begin with the headlines this hour. EU Commission President Ursula von der Leyen says Europe must secure a peace deal for Ukraine with credible security guarantees. She adds these measures will turn the country into a steel porcupine and Europe will fully play its part. The British government has summoned Russia's ambassador after deadly strikes on Kyiv killed at least 15 people and damaged the British Council building. Foreign Minister David Lammy has condemned the attacks, which also hit the EU delegation, calling them an outrage against civilians. The Kremlin says Russia remains interested in negotiations and aims to achieve its goals through political and diplomatic means. The office further stated that Ukraine is also continuing strikes against Russian infrastructure, including civilian targets. Hundreds of UN staff have written to the UN rights chief urging him to denounce what they call an unfolding genocide in Gaza. The letter warns that failure to act would undermine the credibility of the UN, citing comparisons to perceived failings during Rwanda. All UN Security Council members except the US have urged Israel to act amid a famine crisis in Gaza, calling it a man-made crisis, and demanding an immediate ceasefire. They've condemned starvation as a weapon of war and called for lifting restrictions on aid deliveries. North Korea's Kim Jong-un will attend a military parade in Beijing next week alongside Russia's Vladimir Putin. This will be marking North Korean leaders' first multilateral meeting. China's defense ministry says Japan has continuously broken its commitment to pacifism, responding to reports of a US-Japan joint military exercise. Wednesday's deadly shooting at a Minneapolis church, which killed 2 students and wounded 17, is being investigated as domestic terrorism and an anti-Catholic hate crime, FBI Director Kash Patel said. The shooter has been identified as Robin